Assalamu alaikum. Uh, hey guys, welcome to another session of Dr. Khan Insights. My name is Saad Idris and I'll be hosting this session today. We're very excited to have the Chief Operating Officer of Bagallery Deals with us today. But before we kick off, let me tell you a little bit about the guys that we're collaborating with for this session. This is brought to you in collaboration with the Hindsight Company, which is a corporate development and training firm with some spectacular names on their roster. You should check them out on their website or their social media handles at thehindsights.com and find out more. If you're not already familiar with Dr. Khan is basically a network of co-working spaces with 3 locations across Lahore, built with the singular objective of delivering the ideal workspace for businesses and innovators. So they don't have to worry about infrastructure. And most importantly, as like all of us are beginning to come back online from like this semi-isolated vegetative kind of a state, I feel like, one of the most important things that all of us need right now is that human connection and kind of blending back in with the community. And that's basically what it's all about. At the Farhan, you find a community of like these crazy, brilliant entrepreneurs, innovators, individuals, professionals who are all on a journey to growth and development, and that kind of really infuses a lot of energy. So, if you want to check it out, just give us a call and we'll take care of the rest. Today, we're very excited, as I mentioned, to have Farhan Syed with us, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Bagallery Deals. Farhan, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, what's up?
How's the rain situation in Karachi?
Thank you for having me over. Yeah, I think the rain situation has subdued a bit, but the city really needs some work. I originally come from Lahore, but recently आपकी बारिशों ने काफी जो है वो disrupt किया है काम भी and overall the situation as well. So
Yeah.
it's still we're still scared. Anytime it rains, everyone is scared and people just rush to leave either home, and that's the situation.
Yeah. No, I bet. And like, I think in that kind of a time, logistics and like the kind of stuff that you do, or जिस तरह की चीजें बड़ी critical हैं to the operation that you guys are running. I'm sure it must be an absolute nightmare. जब भी थोड़ी सी हवा चलती होगी, you must be kind of on the phone, figuring out and fighting fires. And not only that, like I think the last few months as well, although like a lot of people have been going online to figure out digital solutions to their problems and buying digitally, and e-commerce has gotten a lot of boost. But then at the same time, some of the platforms or some of the initiatives that were kind of fulfilling those requests or kind of catering to that demand must have faced like a lot of challenges in fulfilling those orders. And like in terms of the pure operations of such a function, a lot of them probably didn't really cut it. But let me tell you guys a little bit about Bagallery, and then let me hand it off to Farhan for his valuable insight on the sector. So like over the last few years, Bagallery basically kicked off in May of 2017 and has dominated the online space, specifically in the beauty sector, and has silently grown at like a 20% rate month on month, slowly and steadily. Well, can't really say slowly, but steadily and very interestingly. And we've been kind of through Farhan and through a number of other people that are also kind of very avid consumers and followers of the platform Bagallery. We've been kind of tracking this growth and this journey that this particular startup is on. And it's very, very exciting to see a company emerge as like a juggernaut in the space that they're in. But to learn more about how they've managed to grow at a time when most businesses weren't even able to cope, how the sector is evolving, and what that means, what the future means for the sector and for the industry as a whole. Without further ado, let me hand it off to Farhan.
Thank you so much, Saad. I think really humbled by the introduction. I think you're absolutely right that when it comes to e-commerce, fulfillment and operations is number one area which needs a lot of focus and development. Specifically, अभी आपने तो बारिशों की भी बात की, but overall भी there is a gap in the market, specifically in the logistics sector. My friends back in Kareem, Tracks, by Kia, all of these, they're doing amazing work. But I still feel that they have a long way to go. If we compare our logistics networks to the developed countries, or even our neighbors for that matter, it's a huge difference. So I think that's a huge area of opportunity. I think also I will just quickly introduce myself as well. I have been in Karachi, born and raised in Lahore, but I have been in Karachi working here since the last 5 years. I started off my career as a management trainee in L'Oreal. So I know a lot of my L'Oreal friends are also watching. So hi to them. But recently, since the last 6 odd months, I joined Bagallery. And the reason was because of the belief that Bagallery is a startup that has the legs, and they have the legs to go a long way. And recently with COVID coming along, it has really been an amazing journey and an amazing ride as well. So what this session will be about, there will be a lot of things that we have to discuss, we can discuss, but I really wanted to keep it a very a session where people can actually learn, specifically professionals, if they are wanting to jump ship from their careers and start their own thing, or startups who they're wanting to really learn how to the hows and what's and when's of doing things. So without further ado, I would just quickly start. So to start off, if Pakistan, let's discuss Pakistan by the number. So if Pakistan was 100, 36 live in urban areas. Aapka urban rural split, that's important because majority of the growth in e-commerce comes from the rural areas. 50 are women, and that is spot on our target market, Bagallery's target market, where 50 are women. Of course, we are targeting half of the people, but we are also very strongly targeting men, specifically in the fashion categories. 38 are online, and 20 spend about 2 hours daily on the internet. So in a sense, the area and the space is huge and wide. The opportunity is immense, and that is essentially the point, because a lot of people say, and I'll give you an example. I play football, and mate at football just when I told him that I'm jumping ship and I'm going to Bagallery, he said, "Oh, e-commerce, but the time to go in e-commerce was 3 years ago." So just after March, everyone must have realized and understood that the time to go for e-commerce is now, where e-commerce has literally exploded, and we are seeing immense growth coming on e-commerce and all the digital channels for that matter. Okay, so आपका जो पाकिस्तान है, it's growing. It's a rise of a connected Pakistan. We still need, from a government perspective, we need some policy making. We need a lot of laws, because this is still an unregulated space. However, we have around 170 odd million cellular subscribers. We have 81 million smartphone users. So that means कि आपके 8 करोड़ अवाम जो है, they're connected. online, and this is the 3G and 4G penetration. And this results in the 80% of online traffic coming from mobile devices, and this is a testament to our traffic numbers as well. आपको क्या कहते हैं, another key point of information is that around 2 hours आपका average daily time spent है by Pakistanis. A lot of people question, but these numbers are verified. I have a couple of friends in the agency side. So 41 million आपका Facebook है. So out of those 81 million smartphone users, 41 million are using Facebook, 40 million YouTube, Instagram growing by the day, Snapchat has also grown to quite a lot, and TikTok is the up and coming Gen Z platform where a lot of people are participating and a lot of people are creating content for TikTok. So I believe now TikTok also has an official presence in Pakistan, and we'll see a lot of investment coming in on TikTok very soon. Okay, to put that in perspective, Pakistan has 10 million more internet users than the entire population of Canada. So again, it's reiterating the opportunity at hand that we have. We have an 8x. We are 8 times greater than the entire population of Singapore. An average cost of a new smartphone is $35. That's nothing. That's peanuts compared to the developed countries. 140 million are yet to log on to the internet. So what this presents is that if anyone tells you that e-commerce का time 3 साल पहले था या 2 साल पहले था, just show them these numbers and they'll be able to verify, and they'll be able to understand that we have a huge area of opportunity and we have a huge gap to fill. Okay. E-commerce, the opportunity is now, the size of the prize is 200 billion, sorry, that's a typo. The 200 billion PKR is the size of the prize on e-commerce. COVID has increasingly increased your revenues and conversion rate, and आपका जो जितनी भी news है recently, since the last 3 odd months, you have really increased. I'll give you Bagallery's example. So March 23rd March was our sales, or 23rd March. I happen to remember that as well. That night. So we did the campaign and we just made the campaign live. और उसी रात को कर्फ्यू लगा था. And as a matter of fact, I was stopped at the checkpoint as well. But ever since, beach में एक slight disruption आई थी, but ever since there has been an immense increase in sales. Okay, we operate in the beauty, health, and fashion industry. We are also, actively looking to expand into lifestyle. So beauty, fashion, and lifestyle are the 3 categories that we operate in. Of course, we have juggernauts like Khadi, like Sana Safina's. We have brands who are doing e-commerce, and that's why fashion is big in e-commerce. Specifically now, आज मेरी खाड़ी के अंदर किसी से बात हो रही थी तो वो यही कह रहा था, यार हमारी डबल हो गई सेल्स, and that is essentially what has happened everywhere across the board. The size, what are Pakistanis also searching for during this time period, because Bagallery is relevant है beauty and fashion. A vast majority of Pakistani consumers are researching skincare. So we saw a surge in skincare products. And a surge in demand for skincare because लोग घर में बैठे हुए थे, specifically women. They wanted to have that concept of glass skin. They wanted to have good skin. So everyone is researching online and buying online as well, but they're also buying offline. But specifically now, a lot of people have to develop that capability. Okay. एक NIC की आपकी रिपोर्ट आई थी जिसके अंदर they're telling that a lot of startups and e-commerce are experiencing a reduction in operations due to COVID, and that is true primarily because a lot of startups weren't prepared for any startup, and this is again an advice for all the people out there, if you're going to start your own business, for any startup, it is extremely important that you pivot. Pivot meaning कि यार आपने अगर अपना business सोचा था आप let's say beauty बेचोगे, but if you're getting a good result from the fashion category, you pivot to the fashion category. You started off as a tech company, but you ended up as a an e-commerce company. So you started off as a payment let's take an example of airlift. So every company, every successful startup, they pivot during their lifetime. Our month on month growth during COVID was 22%. So अगर आप इसको compound करें तो almost 60 to 70% हमने grow किया since March. Okay, so how did we survive during COVID? So what did we do? Number one, we built COVID relevant campaigns. It's very easy for startups to just quickly grab on the trends and what is happening. जो बड़ी कंपनी होती है उनका एक फायदा ऑब्वियसली ये होता है कि दे हैव अ लॉट ऑफ कैश, दे हैव अ लॉट ऑफ रेवेन्यू एंड दे कैन सस्टेन पीरियड्स लाइक दीज. But how smaller companies, how they really have an edge over the bigger organizations is the speed and agility. So the moment we went into COVID, we started a Safer is Better campaign. We supported brands with content, and we proactively supported them and provided them unique content and experience. Essentially जितना आपका ट्रैफिक आपका ऑफलाइन से कटा था, तो we started to attract them online, and we built a lot of content. And we have a community, and we had a great surge in demand for content. So naturally we supplied the consumers with content. Okay, now I will go in depth for this about how to grow your startup. And it's while I joined the company in its midst, but there are still a lot of insights that I had through my experience at L'Oreal, of course, and since the last 6 odd months, it has really been an eye-opening experience. Business in Pakistan has never been easy. It's never going to be easy. As a matter of fact, any business anywhere around the world, any new business, it's never going to be easy. And the true quality of an entrepreneur is their resilience. कि यार वो लीचड़ हो जाते हैं, and then they're extremely resilient, and they do not give up. And I think the team at Bagallery has really shown that resilience, and that is essentially the metric for success, because everyone has really stood out and shown that leadership in the moment of crisis. आपको मैं एग्जांपल देता हूँ. हमारी जब कोविड हुआ तो ऑपरेशनली एवरीवेयर वी वर क्लोज्ड. And here I would like to have a special mention for Trax, one of our partners, where I have talked about partnerships. Go far with partnerships. That's the third point here. But Trax really helped us, during COVID, where Hassan Khan, our good friend, he helped us to really bridge the gap between the consumers and our product. And recently we have moved our warehouse. And it's partners like these who really help you out. Okay, so number one, have unique propositions, and I'll talk in detail and depth about them, and I'll give you guys examples of what a unique proposition can be for your business. Essentially मैंने ये जो 3 लिखे हुए हैं, मैं आपको तीनों की examples दूंगा जो Bagallery ने किया. Data is king. We see data, big data. We see this name thrown out a lot, but a lot of people really don't understand that data is now an integral part. अगर आप history भी देखें, so since forever people have been taking decisions on the basis of data. We're just calling it big data now. Yes, of course, there is big data analytics, there is machine learning, there is AI, there are data scientists who are churning out different sorts of analysis. But in a sense, the data mindset is extremely important for you to be taking decisions. हाँ, एक entrepreneur के लिए gut is important, but what data does is it really hedges your risks. That's what I'll say. And go far with partnerships. I think Unilever has been an amazing partner for us. We are doing a lot of key projects with them. L'Oreal, not just because of my affinity to them, not just because a lot of friends of mine are from L'Oreal, but also because the support that they have given specifically in beauty tech and all. दफ्तर ख्वां साद, ये मैंने ऐसे नहीं डाला. You have been a real help, and you have been amazing in terms of connecting us around, and really helping me connect to different partners as well. And Facebook and Google, आपके लिए partnerships तो आपकी किसी भी किस्म की हो सकती हैं. आपकी partners हो सकते हैं, influencers, digital content creators, आपकी companies, आपके brands, आपके investors. So there are many different types of partners that we have gone through. Okay, so what is our unique proposition? Number one is our portfolio. So we have a portfolio of over 300 brands, and that really makes us unique. As Saad mentioned initially, कि हमारी जो हमारा juggernaut है, and that is naturally Daraz, and we as of now are neck to neck, if not bigger than Daraz in the beauty category, at least. And we are also making inroads in the fashion category. It's extremely important to understand, while we really play big on the beauty and fashion categories, we are also going into lifestyle, where home decor and stuff like this comes in. But we really have 10 plus categories. Bagallery for now doesn't want to really get into more categories other than beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. But this is the beauty. A lot of people will a lot of people didn't know that there wasn't a very established beauty player. Bagallery since 2017 has clocked in amazing growths. So first year we got a 500% growth, second year almost a 200% growth. So the growth has been immense year on year. Our core proposition has always been our portfolio, and that's number one. Number two, it's the power of PR and influencers. Now this is जिससे भी बैक गैलरी का पूछे ना, just to introduce back gallery, and Saad, I will steal this from you as well. Back gallery is something, maybe if you're a guy you might not know about it, but your wife or girlfriend or your mother or sister would know about it definitely. And that is the power that our influencers have been we've been able to achieve that through our influencers. आपकी हमारी 150 प्लस इन्फ्लुएंसर्स हैं, टिकटॉक पे हैं, इंस्टाग्राम पे हैं, यूट्यूब पे हैं, फेसबुक पे हैं, स्नैपचैट पे हैं. सो वी आर अक्रॉस द बोर्ड, अक्रॉस ऑल प्लेटफॉर्म्स. We are well known for our influencers and the power of our influencers. Now, how do our influencers help us out? They not only help us out with content, but they also help us in situations like when we are facing operational issues. COVID के दौरान Back Gallery faced a lot of operational issues where a lot of order delays were there. So the influencers became our bridge with the consumers, where they helped us by explaining to the consumers the problem at hand. आपको, and there are trusted partners. Our PR boxes, they're well known for, and they're very very famous. We always are admired about the PR boxes. Our head of marketing, Mushbar, she is the curator, and she is the single-handed person who is behind this. But of course, there's an entire team who is doing this as well. Okay, so recently हमारी जो एक हमारी campaign है, and our campaign is Independence Day. It's about to go live on starting 14th, and it'll go till the 16th, inshallah. And what we quickly came up with an idea of a campaign with where a lot of women have these insecurities because of what the society it tells them. Back Gallery wanted them to know that you can do whatever you want, and you can have the courage. So in a sense, we wanted them to celebrate freedom, freedom, of courage, and to be bold. So we have a video. I'll quickly show the video to now everyone now.
लाइट कपड़े ना पहना करो और काली लगती हो। वाइट नेल पॉलिश और काले लगेंगे हाथ। एक शेड लाइट लगा लिया करो, थोड़ी इवन लगेगी स्किन टोन।
इसके बाल नहीं हैं, कभी देखे ही नहीं। इंस्टाग्राम और ये हिजाब लेते हैं तभी ब्रांड पर्सनालिटी मैच ही नहीं हो रही है। हिजाब पहन के मेकअप तो मत करो। ये क्या हुआ, इतनी बीमार लग रही हो तुम। अच्छा, तो आज मेकअप नहीं किया, डार्क सर्कल्स भी कितने बुरे लग रहे हैं।
जो लड़कियां जॉब करती है ना, वो घर नहीं चला सकती। जॉब करनी ही क्यों है? फाइनेंशियल इश्यूज है क्या?
इतनी ज्वेलरी शादी से पहले पहनने की क्या जरूरत है? दुल्हन बनोगे तो कोई डिफरेंस ही नहीं लगेगा।
रेड लिपस्टिक मैरिड लग रही हो, शादी के बाद लगा लेना। लगता है दुल्हन बनने का बहुत शौक है तुम्हें। प्रेगनेंसी में काफी ज्यादा वेट गेन नहीं कर लिया तुमने? साइज देखो अपना, इतना मुश्किल भी नहीं है वेट लूज करना।
इतना मेकअप किसके लिए कर रही हो? मेकअप की दुकान लग रही हो आज।
This 14th August, I want to celebrate the freedom to be comfortable in my own skin.
I want the freedom of living unjudged. I want freedom to embrace my imperfections and live proudly with them.
I want to celebrate freedom by expressing myself my way.
Freedom to flaunt bold lips without the fear of being judged.
I want the freedom to be happy in my own body.
I want the freedom to do my makeup for my own happiness.
This 14th August, what do you want freedom from?
Okay, so it was a very touching video. We got a lot of we got a lot of praise for this video as well. Now we used 8 influencers for this video, and trust me, it was more about the concept than the cost, and it came out very nicely. And this is the sort of content that everyone there can do. Now I was talking about a unique proposition. Now while our unique proposition can be influence and our portfolio, your unique proposition can be something completely different. For example, आप लोग कोई टेक के अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छे हो सकते हैं, या someone can be great at design, or someone can be great at operations, where they're promising great service. So in a sense, prioritize on 1 or 2 unique propositions. Once you think that you're there, and by there I mean probably the best in the industry, then move on to another proposition, and then keep on building them. Because a lot of brands, unfortunately, what they do is they start investing a lot in infrastructure. As a lot of, I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people, why they're not either starting their own business is because उनके पास कहते हैं जी पैसे नहीं है, money is never an issue. It's वो फिर कहते हैं idea नहीं है. Again, idea is never an issue. It's just about getting started. An entrepreneur is one who got started, and that's, I think, the bottom line here. So always have a unique proposition. People out there, you can even have food, as a unique proposition, where you can, have a restaurant, or you can open up a little, cafe or something. All right. We talk a lot about data. Without the data, the chatter don't matter. Now, this is something that I heard in one of my trainings at L'Oreal. There is a lot of chatter, and a lot of people talking about decisions based on their gut and whatnot. But unless you have data to back your decisions or what you say, you'll never be able to make a convincing argument with people around you, and B, with the consumers, as simple as that. Because while you can keep on trying new things, but you have to back it with data at least. Now, data always goes into tools, the analysis, insights, and that helps you take a decision. So it's never step by step. It's always a process that you have to follow with data. But eventually, a person who is savvy with data will automatically start coming to this conclusion. And data leads to automation. आपकी eventually आपकी जो data है, it leads to automation. For example, reporting के अंदर, for example, forecasting के अंदर, for example, I'll give you examples आगे जाके, but in a sense, you use data so that you can automate the entire business. Okay. Now, data is king. How does data help Bagallery? Simple. What, how, and the result. So इसको मैंने frame out ऐसे किया हुआ है कि what exactly is the data being used for, how is it being used, and what is the result on this. So number one, e-commerce acceleration. So if you want to accelerate, if you want to grow, how do you use data? You strategize growth on the basis of historical data. You see आपकी category or brand insights क्या हैं. You analyze the P&L and financials. You analyze your sales data. You see, you forecast, etc., etc. There's a lot of metrics. मैं examples आपको सिर्फ दिए हैं. And the result is that I'll give you Bagallery का result that we did an analysis and we found out कि यार ये वाली categories हमारे लिए most profitable है. So then we started focusing on these profitable categories, and that helped us in the bottom line a lot. So that is how I think we use data for e-commerce acceleration. Then digital media and ROI. Any money that you invest in marketing, that has to have a return you expect. So it can be, I'll give you an example of the market before Daraz came in. There was no market, so Daraz really had to invest ahead of the curve to develop that market. But once that market was developed, because it's the biggest player, a lot of brands tried to match that spending power. You're never going to match that spending power. Hence, you need to have specific channels where your media is performing, the money on Facebook that you spend, the traffic that you're bringing, the channels that are bringing you the best ROI, the content that helps you convert to sales. There are 2 to 3 different campaigns from Bagallery that I really love. One of them is this. It really, got the people talking. Then there was the Safer is Better, campaign, which really helped create very good PR, and people understood हमने Safer is Better की थी for the Essentials campaign, and we saw good results. And as a matter of fact, we launched a couple of new categories as a result of that. So one result that we did after analyzing data of digital media and ROI was that Instagram was the best performing channel. So for example, अगर मैं $100 Facebook के अंदर डालता हूँ और $100 I put in Instagram, the result is totally different, because Instagram might be be able to give me at least let's say $10 key sale, but in Facebook is giving me $5 key sale. But this again has to be consistently analyzed. So that is where data comes in with media and ROI. Okay. Number three is consumer insights. You have to know your consumer to move ahead. You cannot not listen to your consumer. Recently, Back Gallery was getting a lot of bashing due to operational issues, and we were getting complaints that their orders aren't being delivered. We were getting complaints that their queries aren't being responded to. So a lot of things, and any business when they're pivoting, specifically during COVID, it really impacted. But what we did was we moved to a new warehouse. Once we analyzed exactly what the problem was, we saw after a lot of analysis and data, हमारे consumer की chatter बहुत ज़्यादा थी. We analyzed and we saw that we were getting a drop in sales. Plus our capability was not matching up to the level of orders that we were getting. So that really helped us move to the new warehouse. So this is again, you always have a step-by-step process. Data eventually helps a person get to that decision. But yes, and people who know me, they always know that I always say 70% is data and 30% has to be your gut. And that is the mix which really helps you maintain that balance between trying out new things, doing big things, because you can never be too sure. Okay. This is an African proverb. It's one of my favorites. If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And it's beautifully written. In a sense, it just means that जब एक startup जब entrepreneur एक startup start करता है, तो what they really do is they walk fast and they go fast. And they're alone because no one believes in them. Then eventually, as they move along their journey, people start believing and they start coming together, etc., etc. So my advice is always going to be that have partners, because you can never do everything alone. You always need people who partner. And I'll give you an example of just three basic examples निकाली हैं. मैंने आपको ट्रैक्स का बताया, how they're helping us bridge the gap between delivering fast. मैं आपको बताता हूँ, L'Oreal, we did a customizable lipstick with them. We partnered with them. They did the lipstick printing. We did the customization on site, and that really worked out well for us. Lifebuoy, अभी recently in Independence Day, Unilever, Lifebuoy is a Unilever brand, and they, we partnered with them and we did a game, Do the Lifebuoy. You can go and check it out on Back Gallery. But essentially, we partnered with their brand team and we partnered together to really, do the game, and that this game really helped us garner a lot of good results as well. So, हमने technical किया, उन्होंने concept हमें बताया, और eventually we designed it. Okay. So, and next we partnered with TCF, the Citizens Foundation. Back Gallery believes that corporate social responsibility का एक अलग department नहीं होना चाहिए, but every single thing that one does needs to have an element of giving back to the society. We really feel that people in Pakistan have to do more with respect to little children's education. So we partner. We are partnering with TCF and different organizations to really help them out. So collectively we can really help. So this is basically us partnering with them for a corporate social responsibility. The fact of the matter is ये बड़ी different types of partnerships थी. ट्रैक्स के साथ logistics level पे थी, लॉरियल के साथ and Unilever के साथ tech level पे थी, TCF के साथ social level पे थी, and all of them had different objectives, and Back Gallery managed to have achieve a result with a different result with each. So in a sense, partner with people, go to people, and you will be surprised. As entrepreneurs, you will be surprised the support a lot of people are willing to give. uh, Lastly, patience. The Prophet always, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, always used to tell everyone, and a famous Urdu proverb, "Sabr ka phal meetha." It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. For all those people around, you are going to fail again and again and again, but you need to have the patience and you need to have the resilience to step up. In our case, we fail every day. Every single day there are little failures, but I always say that your goal needs to be so big, so huge, that and that all your little failures, they just are overcome by that huge win that you get at the end of the day. So I think that is it from my side. Thank you, Saad. I think we are right on time as well. 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Like
man, bang on time. Thank you so much for this. This was super interesting, super useful. Mashallah say, like, I know that you're still very young with a with a limited amount of time in your career. Like, and I think the kind of insights that you've shared with us today, बहुत useful, very interesting, and the perfect blend of inspiring and insightful at the same time. So this was really brilliant. Thank you so much for that.